Okay, guys, good morning. I'm a little bit irritated because I just gave this rant and I had my computer set on photo rather than video, so none of it was recorded. So, oh my goodness, like the story of my life. So anyway, a couple of things I need to share with you guys. Uh, I need some of the videos from yesterday need an introduction, so I'm going to provide that now because I looked at some of them last night and they won't make sense otherwise. So I'm just going to back up a little bit more to my departure out of Yellowknife. So I call a taxi in the morning. I'm in Yellowknife. I'm going to the airport. I have this great conversation with the taxi driver. I get to the airport. I'm kind of excited. It's been a long time since I traveled by myself. I feel like I'm 20 years old again. I got no children, no wife, sadly, but this is the reality. So I get to the airport, and what do I see? I think, oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna meet lots of new people, have conversations. What do I see? This is what I see. Everybody's staring at their phone. So I'm a bit discouraged. I think, okay, that's okay. So I get on the plane. I'm packed in there on the plane, and I think, okay, usually when you're on the plane, you talk to the people next to you. Where are you going? Where are you from? What do I see? That's what I see. So again, I'm thinking, okay, so I'm reading. Nobody's making eye contact. That's fine. Plus, people have masks because it's COVID. So for those of you that are, you know, for students of mine, you guys know that we talk about this in class. That I tell you, there's more to life than what you will find on your phone. And I encourage you to talk to people. Talk to your classmates. Talk to your teacher. Talk to your gym coach or your soccer coach. Talk to your aunt or talk to somebody. It's nice. There's lots of information. There's a world of information on your phone, but there's also a world of information in people's minds. And it's nice to sometimes to talk to those people to see where they've been, where they're going, what their perspective is on different topics. So on this trip, I've endeavored to do this. I've talked to lots of people. When I got to LA, I was feeling better because people were not on their phones, and I ended up talking to quite a few people, and I've started documenting these conversations. So yesterday, when I picked up the car, maybe today, depending on when you watch this video, when I get the car, there's the guy with the deer pelt on his. There's the guy with the deer hide on his balcony that I talked to. So interesting story about this guy. This guy and the woman that I'm renting her parking stall, they do not get along. They are arch enemies. So I see him up there, and she whispers to me, "That's the guy that wants." And she's swearing, and he's swearing, and it's awful. So I think I'm like, I'm not getting involved in this. But sure enough, I get involved. And next thing you know, I'm talking to this guy, and he's like, "I'm going to tow that car. Whose car is that?" He's like, "I didn't think that car ran. How'd you get that thing going? Is that even your car?" And he's kind of really, he's being quite, ignorant and obscene. And so I'm thinking, okay. So I notice, oh, what are you driving? Because I like cars a little bit. So I'm talking, and then we start talking about his truck, and then he starts to calm down, and I say, "Oh, I love those old Ford Rangers." Blah blah blah. We start talking, and then I ask him. I think, you know what? I'm gonna ask him about the war in the Ukraine. He goes, he's got all these opinions, and he's totally forgot about this hate he has for his neighbor who's storing my car. And he's talking about the war in Ukraine, and he's articulate, and he's got really neat ideas, and he's talking about, so him and I. So this video, you might have saw it already. That's the backstory there. So moving forward on my day yesterday, which was a full day to be sure, as I met people, if the chance came up, I asked them about Ukraine. This is like a world current event that is relevant that everyone is talking about. So I've been asking people. So two encounters that I need to kind of preface, I guess. I'm driving down the street. I'm not texting and driving on my phone, but I'm not texting, and I'm kind of lost because I'm often lost. And so I think I'm gonna ask these guys for directions. So I pull up beside this car. I roll down my window. They roll down their window. The woman in the passenger seat is asleep. So the first thing I say is, and then I startled her. And so I'm like, "Sorry to wake you." And she's like, "It's okay." So the driver, I say, "Listen, I'm trying to find the beach, but also need to find a gas station." They say, "We're not from here." I say, "Well, where are you from?" They say, "Canada." I said, "I'm from Canada." So I show them my shirt, and I said, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm a prof and I'm teaching at UCLA." So for those of you that don't know, California has a whole bunch of universities, and a lot of them are called University of California, and then the campus name. So University of California, Los Angeles, University of California, Santa Barbara, blah blah blah. So this guy's at UCLA, which is a very highly esteemed school. So I'm thinking, this guy, I got to talk to this guy. So I say, okay, I cut to the chase. Say, what do you think of what's happening in Ukraine? So keep in mind, I'm at a stoplight talking through the window. Light changes. I think, oh man, that's really too bad. I really want to talk to this guy. So I drive away. The video is still running. I get to the next light. Who's sitting next to me? The prof from UCLA. Well, he's actually from McMaster. My sister went to McMaster in Hamilton. So we talk about that. So anyway, we pull up to the next light. I say, okay, let me have it. So he gives me his opinion on the war in the Ukraine. So, and it's fascinating stuff. So that's how that footage is awful because I don't text and drive, so I'm kind of just holding. I do pick up the phone at one point and I put it out the window so that I can hear him speaking because we're on almost like a freeway. Then there's lots of traffic. So anyway, but I was safe. So next I go to Costco. I bought a bunch of stuff I didn't need. Anyway, what else happened? So I'm in line. I'm buying new sunglasses. I'll show them to you today. And so I'm in the lineup to buy sunglasses, and I have to go to the prescription glasses section to get the sunglasses, but they're not prescription, so I don't understand that. But anyway, so I end up talking to this guy in the lineup at the prescription glasses depot in the Costco. So right away we start talking, and turns out he's from Iran, and so I'm thinking, oh, this is interesting. So what do I ask him? I say, well, what do you think of the Ukraine? What's happening in the Ukraine? And this guy, he does not want to be videotaped. He does not want. So I ask him. I say, can I record this? He says no. But he said, what you can do is, he said, you can record the audio but no visual. And I don't know how to turn off my camera. So I'm holding the phone. And I'm kind of just holding it like this, so that it's like a mic, and I'm interviewing him. But all the while, I'm videotaping. I'm videoing the checkout counter at Costco, and I think I actually have it upside down. Don't let that distract you. Do not listen to what he's saying. I mean, if maybe at some point I'll be able to turn off that video after the fact. So this guy's an interesting guy. So he grew up in Iran, came here, I think, as a refugee, but separated from his parents. Really, it's a tough story. When he was 12, I have a 12-year-old, so I'm trying to think, what this would be like for me, for her. And it reminded me, for those of you that are in my Socials 9 class, it reminded me a little bit of our conversation around Vietnam. And when the refugees, after the US pulled out of the South and the North took over, and a lot of the Vietnamese left, often known as Vietnamese boat people, they left by boat. And they went to, now I forget, where were they going? To Malaysia. And we showed that one clip where the family has the young child and baby, and they jump off the boat in the ocean to try and get to the mainland because they do not want to go back to Vietnam. And some of my students, some of you said, Mr. Tracy, I'm not buying this. This is made up. But thankfully, CBC had documented this story, and so had interviewed the same family like 30 years later. And so the daughter that jumped into the water with her parents, who was 2 at the time, is now 35, and in fact works for CBC. So we were able to watch that video, and it's a harrowing story. It's quite remarkable. But anyway, this guy's story sounded a little bit like that. And keep in mind, I'm at the Costco in Los Angeles. So what's the moral of the story here? It's okay, to talk to people, even sometimes if you don't know them. Maybe not in like a dark alley, like behind the Gold Range. I don't recommend that. But if you're in an airport or someplace safe with good lighting and you're lost, you can check your phone, but it's okay sometimes to ask people, a security guard, a stewardess, a flight attendant. You can ask people, and sometimes you'll be happy you did. So anyway, that's enough. I've been going here. It's 9 minutes. It's my longest video. I haven't even had a coffee yet. Okay. Enjoy the videos. Talk to you guys soon. Stay safe. I'm out for now.